Senator Muma. Very well. I'll start with Senator Cherargei.
Clerk, mine is a quick one. In the, I don't know whether the witness is distracted. Just a quick one. In this letter written to you, summoned by the Senate, Mr. Jacob Kirari.
Yes, Mheshimiwa.
I can see that you were supposed, the letter was specific, that you confirm authenticity of the letters 18 September 2023, 2024, 11 January 2024, and then number 2, provide the official register of the documents as maintained by the office of the clerk of the county assembly.
Yes, true.
How many registers would you have brought? Was it convenient for you to bring? How many registers do you have? And was it convenient for you to bring all the registers that you run in the county assembly to refer to your correspondence? Finally, as a clerk, were you confirmed as substantive clerk of Meru County Assembly, or you are in acting capacity? And finally, Mr. Speaker, sir, in keeping records of the County Assembly of Meru, are there records outside the official correspondences that are given out? Are there records that you keep in soft copy? That is, in short, do you have ICT policy in terms of storage of data or correspondence within the County Assembly? I submit, Chair.
Mr. Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and honorable members. Is that we use these registers from September 2023.
I want to direct you. We have got less than 10 minutes.
Yes.
To that question, respond to it in under 1 minute and do not give stories.
It was not convenient for me to bring all other registers because of the short period I received.
Senator Kina.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my question is straightforward. I've listened to the witness being cross-examined by the governor's attorney, and I've also listened to him giving the same answering when he was being re-examined by his attorney. And the question to me, which I want to be clear, is that were these documents ever received in your office? Because when you were being asked by the attorney for the governor, you made responses to the affirmative. But when you are being re-examined, you introduce a new word and say it's a forgery. So which is which? You know, that to me really bothers me. I want to be clear, because if you look at volume 1B of the governor, from page 55 all the way to page 68, there are letters which have got stamps from your office. The governor's lawyer has also referred you to the register. And in your submissions, you affirmed that that record was indeed a record from your office. So which is which? Did you ever receive? Is it a forgery? And if it is, which statement do you stand with? Do you stand with the statement you gave during your re-examination or the statement that you gave during the cross-examination?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And honorable senators, the questions which have been asked by the governor's counsel did not relate at all to the 3 documents which are purported to come from my office. What the senior counsel questioned me about is about June and other record behind that. But what has been forged is those appearing as from September to March. And these are the ones I've confirmed that they are forged, even the way the stamp has been put. And you compare with any other correspondence from my office, you realize that this was actually an act of just fraudulent act in those 3 documents. And Mr. Speaker, because I received a correspondence from the county secretary the other day about the same delayed, that is on 17th July, we received in the same book, and
Mr.
it is
Clerk,
here.
you have responded to the question. I will allow 2 last clarifications, one by Senator Muma and Senator Joyce. Senator Muma, you will listen to both, then you respond to both of them at once.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Clerk, you are the clerk of Meru County Assembly. I believe your staff must have assisted in the impeachment process in Meru. So you are familiar with all the counts, all the charges, including the charge number 2 around appointment to the boards. When you came here, you are aware about what you're coming to give evidence about. Can you truly tell the Senate that you were not able to bring other registers that have the entries for the letters that you say you received, but only gave this register, which you're now disowning because you have another one that you actually have the correct entries in? Do you want us to believe that?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Wait, Mr. Clerk. Senator Joyce asked the
Yeah,
question.
thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Allow me to raise the question to the clerk. The clerk give admissibility of a motion to the County Assembly. I would like to know what has been his technical advice to the County Assembly, bearing in mind, Honorable Speaker, that they have done this is the 3rd impeachment motion, which I know they have been using the public resources, and what has been his technical advice on the same impeachment motions, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Mr. Clerk, answer those 2 questions.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The first question is about the registers and the nomination in respect to the motion. I want to say that I was aware of these 3 documents only about the board, and actually was to remind the office of the clerk to simply to ensure that the bond are in place. But Madam Senator, when I came here and got the 3 letters that are purported to have come from the county secretary, that's the time I realized that because I had full knowledge of how we communicate with the county secretary and when we communicated, because the issue was actually in July, and these letters are appearing between September and January and March, then I sensed something is not right, because the recent letter over the same issue came on 17th July. So that's the time now, and it is recorded. Even that of July is recorded in this register. That's the time I realized that there was a sinister motive to actually set those 3 letters to show that they are reminding us. Number 2, actually, when they brought the nominees in assembly around July, and we questioned that those offices are not vacant unless they advise otherwise whether they are vacancies. They stayed for the last 6 months, and we reminded them that still they never responded to our letter on clarity as how those vacancies, whether those vacancies existed and how. It's only July 17 that they just brought another letter, but still worried because the same position stood. That's why I responded very fast. And that is the position. The 3 letters I disown totally. That of September to March, they are not from my office, even if you see them and how they are stamped.
You have responded, Mr. Clerk. Answer the other question.
The other question about my advice as to the procedure of this impeachment, Mr. Speaker, the work of the clerk, as you are aware, when the proper procedures and relevant laws has been complied to, the clerk, definitely, we usually talk with the members, but when they see that there is a breach of laws and other issues, of course, that is their role, and when they comply with the relevant law as per the standing orders, they bring the document to my office. Definitely, I would love to act on them.
Yes, proceed to conclude on that if you had not concluded. Thank you very much. Senator Eddy, what is it that has come up your mind to clarify?
Chair, because of the lack of the registrars that I didn't see, and if I get it correctly, clerk, you've been clerk since 2020. Other than the documents that you have alluded to in these volumes that have been forged,
Yes.
since the governor got into office till to date,
Yes.
have you received or had any correspondences that have got forgery in nature?
Not at all. We have been having very cordial relationship as to record and the rest.
Let me just finish my question. Other than the documents that we are talking about here, have there been any other documents in any correspondence whatsoever from the office of the governor that allude to forgery to this magnitude?
No.
You've been answered. I want to close this, honorable members. Let's not reopen any clarification. Senator Joyce, what is it that is burning?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I just wanted to know the cost implication of this process, these impeachment motions that has been done from the first to the last one. And finally, Honorable Speaker, if there is an appeal case, how much have they used? These are public funds, Honorable Speaker.
Clerk, are you able to answer that question?
Mr. Speaker, we have never gotten to an extent of leaving this honor of house on the matter of impeachment to where we go to court. And where I stand as a clerk,
are you able to answer the question as to the cost implication?
I cannot answer the cost implication so far because we don't incur.
Very well, you are not able to answer. Say you are unable to answer, you do not know the cost. That should be your simplest answer, right?
There is no cost.
Thank you. Honorable members, that brings us to the end of this session. Senator Joyce, order please. Let's all be standing, Christ. Honorable Senators, it's now